Yeah, hello and welcome to another update video about Ethereum. So we're moving slowly, still not really breaking out of this range. Yeah, we had a bit of a breakout here because we can draw trend lines here to account for this possible triangle shape that we had here. We broke out of it briefly, obviously didn't really adhere to it. There was a bit of a retest, but then eventually broke back above that trend line. Now, important to say that we have not yet broken the previous swing low. That is always important as well. We haven't done that, therefore we talked about the 1268 level in previous videos. For me at the moment, I don't have anything reliably or anything that would be a reliable bullish pattern here. I'm at the moment still focused on the downside, waiting for lower lows. And at the moment, until I see something more bullish, that will remain my view here. We have a descending trend line that can be drawn here. Now we're just about to touch that again, depending on how exactly we draw it. Now these are always a little bit subjective, these trend lines, but you know, we've nearly touched it, so there's a chance for the price to get rejected from here again and to follow further down. I mean, there's different possibilities here, different wave counts. We talked about all of these in previous videos. At the moment, I think the simplest or the most simple take on this is just that the wave 4 finished here of the decline. There will be one more leg down in a wave 5, ideally in the region between 1150 to 1200, and that we are already in this fifth wave. The fifth wave is an ABC pattern, you know, 3 waves, A, B, and C, and that in the C wave here, which is a 5-wave move, we've already done here a wave 1, we've done a wave 2, and we're now in the 3rd wave down. There will be a wave 4 and a wave 5. Not entirely clear, yeah, it's not an entirely clear picture here, and understanding here of the micro counts, because this could be following, it could be the wave 1 finished, the wave 2 peaked, and we're now in the 3 down. It could also be, and that's entirely possible, that we have an extended wave 1, and that we are putting in a wave 2, a larger wave 2 now. That's possible, but I would really only look at this more closely if we break that 1337 high. We can probably look at this a little bit earlier, and for that we take the fibs. Yeah, it's again this 78.6% fib level which is relevant. So already if we push above 1321, then I think we have a good chance that this was an extended wave 1 and that we get an extended wave 2 to the upside, which can push a little bit higher. Just because if the wave 1 was longer, then the wave 2 can be longer as well. But it's a little bit too early to speculate around that. Just to know, I think that is a possibility. I think the most imminent understanding, or the most important understanding here at the moment of this chart, is that we have not yet really broken out of the range. Yeah, we have been hovering, and we have hovered above these key lower levels of the range, you know, but we have not broken the 1267, 1268 level yet. That is what we need to do to confirm a further downward move, because you know, this is eventually the level that needs to break. Trend lines are all fine, but eventually also with the Elliott wave count, it is still entirely possible, and this is the other count that I actually removed from the chart, not because it's not viable or possible, but it's just because otherwise it just, you know, I don't want to bore you with 3, 4, 5 different counts here which are possible. I always try to show you the, let's say, the most likely count. But you know, we talked about this could just be a wave A, then we had our wave B here, the C, the D, still possible because we have not broken below the wave B low, and then this is a wave E to the upside. That is possible as well. Eventually, it doesn't really make a great difference in the short term. It just means also that we would follow with an impulsive move then to the downside afterwards. Yeah, important is this descending trend line that we haven't broken yet, so there's a good chance we get rejected from here still. And important is the previous swing high here at 1337. Yeah, and the 1321 level, which is that the 78.6% fib level. So all of this important, and as long as we don't really break above the 1386 level, which is that high from the 6th of October, the focus remains further on the downside. Yeah, again, short term, this range can continue short term, unfortunately, because we haven't taken out the previous swing low. Again, you can see how close this was. Yeah, we've basically come down to the same level. But overall, I do expect a reversal in this range. That's why I already added some ETH to my portfolio at 1250, but I primarily would, expect a recovery from this range, a large recovery, but ideally after one more low. And if we see lower lows, it can go down to $1,000. Yeah, as long as we hold the $1,000 level, this entire scenario, this higher level scenario, is still valid. That this was a wave 1, this here a wave 2, and we're now moving up in a 3. Now if we go below $1,000, then we can come down all the way to 880, which is the June low, and then there's a really good chance we're going to break it, and then it can take us first to 650. Now I had a few questions, what does it mean if we how would that look like if this is indeed a bearish pattern? So that the move up from the low from 880 to 2020 was just a corrective wave, an ABC, which we can count. It's not ideal, but we can count it as an ABC. So we'd say this was a wave A, we had a wave B down, and all of this was a wave C. Then the move down would be a 5-wave move, and we would say, okay, this was a wave 1 here, this here a wave 2. We are now still in the wave 3. I would like to see that additional low for that wave 3. Whoops, don't know where that went. Let's just do that again. So yeah, 1, 2, then here a 3, and then there should be a wave 4 recovery, and then we'll come down in a wave 5. Now that can all extend out a little bit, yeah, need to see, but yeah, that could take us down to below 880. Yeah, and the point is just, it probably becomes an impulse if we go below $1,000. Okay, so price action still is key. You can always have different interpretations of different wave counts. There are clear rules about the Elliott waves, but again, there are only, I said before, I think there's only 6 or 7 rules. Yeah, a lot of guidelines, but really only 6 or 7 rules, and a lot comes down to the experience and the interpretation of the analyst, yeah, as every TA does. And however, from experience, I can tell you, if a wave 2, which I at the moment, look at this as a wave 2, basically a correction which should lead to another impulse up. But if that correction moves below the 78.6% fib level, which is at 1130, it already gets less likely, and below $1,000, that would be a break of the 88.7% fib level. I mean, that increases massively the chances of invalidation, and that the pattern that I see as a correction is actually an impulse, however, then to the downside. So that's what we look at the moment. So hopefully you like the update about ETH. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.